Hello, everybody. This is my Helldivers 2 loadout draft system that I made. It's to help diversify your loadouts and give you a little bit of randomness between missions. If you've been feeling like Helldivers 2 has been getting a bit stale, or you kind of use the same thing every time, this should help. How it works is you make a unit that has a certain amount of Helldivers in it, meaning lives, and you get equipment deleted from your current loadout when you die. You can also just remove it whenever you want. And yeah, that keeps going. Once your current unit runs out of Helldivers, you make a new unit and get an entirely new loadout. That's the short summary of it. If that sounds interesting, I'm going to go through how to actually use the system. If it doesn't sound interesting, you can leave. I give you permission. Go to recess or something. So the very first step is to click on one of these red buttons, because you need to give the scripts permission to run. This pop-up will come up. You'll click OK. Then another window will pop up. You can't see it right now, but it's where my cursor is. You'll choose your Google account. Allow scripts to run. They are safe. They only run in the spreadsheet when you click a button, and they only edit values of a cell. If you still don't trust them, go to recess. Hey, I forgot something that's pretty important. Equipment that is not purchased yet. If you have equipment that you have not purchased yet, I recommend putting it in here. It has all the equipment. If you don't want something coming up in a loadout that you can't use, put it in equipment that is not purchased yet. Or if you want something to never, ever come up, like you hate it with a passion and you don't like it whatsoever, and you would never, ever use it, put in equipment that is not purchased yet. That's all. I forgot to mention the equipment that is not unlocked yet. You find that all the way to the right of active and deceased Helldivers. Back to your regularly scheduled programming. But once you give the scripts permission to run, it doesn't matter what button you click on to do that. But I would suggest you click on step 1, because then the script will run after you give them permission, which is what it just did. I clicked on step 1, create a new unit, and it created this unit, the Extravagant Kangaroos. This is the active Helldiver, Gaia V. Rodriguez. This stuff isn't too important. It doesn't affect the gameplay of the system, so to speak. It's just there for a little bit of flavor. If you do survive missions, that does affect something, but I'll tell you about that later. Step 2, copy signature stuff to current loadout. These things are permanent in your loadout. They don't get deleted when you die, and they don't change ever, unless you change them manually. We got incendiary mines and the slugger. You see that they have colors. And over here is all that's available when you create a new loadout. Things will get locked as you die and use the system. Last step 2, copy these to here according to their color. That's what I was going to say. Primary weapons are orange. Secondary weapons are light blue. Throwables are purple, and armor passives are pink, salmon, something like that. And put them in their appropriate spots for their signature equipment. Signature stratagem just goes in one of these places. Doesn't matter. Step 3, choose loadout equipment. You click that button, and then you'll get a pop-up. You input the number of the equipment you want, or stratagem. How this script works is it runs through the current loadout cells, and for each empty one, you can put a choice in. since this is E13, we get 3 offensive stratagems, 3 defensive stratagems, and 3 support weapons, backpacks, or vehicles. These are randomly selected from the list of available stratagems. So input your number that you want to put in. If you put in a wrong number, like 11, it'll say do it again, and you'll get the same selection. I'm just putting in random numbers. And then it goes, now it's our secondary weapon, now it's our throwable. You get 4 choices instead of 3, like in the stratagems. For each stratagem, you got 3. You got 9 in total. But anyways, put in the numbers, you make your current loadout. Step 4, set the difficulty you will like this system to be. This only determines how many reserve Helldivers are in each new unit. I like to do challenging for 8, and that's a nice number. You can go to Super Helldive and get 2, but I like 8, so we'll keep it there. Step 5 is to go do a mission, liberate the galaxy. Step 1, count the dead. Deaths during last mission, we set that to 4. Step 2, tally completed missions. We didn't fail the last mission, so we get another mission. Once you complete 3 missions, you can increase your unit reserve Helldivers. How many reserve Helldivers you have in your unit by an amount that is determined mainly by the difficulty. There is some math, but I don't remember. It felt right. Step 3, commence death penalty. You click this button, and you can see equipment was deleted. 4 pieces, just like how many times we died. You go over here, you can see the locked equipment is now in locked equipment. This is supposed to be color-coded. Sometimes things aren't working properly. I'll show you how to fix it later, if you care about that. Step 4, move active diver to deceased Helldiver. This will just copy this stuff, paste it over here, and then you choose how did the Helldiver die. We'll say the Terminids got him. Then you send Helldiver to Memorial. They'll be removed. And then they're put into the Memorial of Fallen Helldivers. This will be just a list of active Helldivers that have died and how many times other Helldivers died in the same mission. If you care about that, you can come and look and reminisce. If not, ignore them. Step 6, reset deaths during last mission to 0. If the number of reserve Helldivers is negative, go to step 10 after this step. It's not negative right now, so we don't have to do that. Step 7, unlock some locked equipment. You see, one thing hasn't been unlocked. How much equipment is unlocked is determined by how many missions you've completed, how many missions this current Helldiver has survived, and completed operations determine how much equipment will be unlocked. The better you do, and the longer your unit survives, the more stuff you'll have available for loadouts. And then step 8, choose loadout equipment. You go back to step 3 and click that button, and you'll get more selections. You input the numbers that you want for the equipment you like to use. Boom. Now we have another slightly different, but somewhat the same loadout. And then you go liberate the galaxy some more. And you'll repeat that a couple times. It's not very often that I die 8 times, or technically 9 times in a mission. Let's say we do the next mission and we die 5 times. This is now -1. We are all out of reserve Helldivers. So we reset successfully completed missions to 0 because now this unit needs to be deleted. We set this to 0 and go to step 4. It might need to be a little bigger, but anyways, when the reserve Helldivers are negative, reset successfully completed missions to 0 and then move to step 4. Do the stuff for the deceased Helldiver, send him to the memorial, reset deaths during last mission to 0. You see that I'm going in the order of the steps. If the number of reserve Helldivers is negative, go to step 10 after this step. So we do that. Commence unit elimination process. You see our whole loadout is gone. And if we go to locked equipment, it's all in here. Whoa. That's what happens when your unit dies. Your whole loadout is locked, including signature stuff. That was step 10. Step 11, send unit to memorial. So now you can reminisce on how long a unit survived, how many operations they completed. And step 12, start a fresh unit. Before I do that, if it's not clear, 3 missions is an operation. When you complete 3 missions right here, you get to increase unit reserves. You see, you wouldn't do that if they're negative. It doesn't actually work if you have less than 3. Just in case you accidentally click that button. But once you complete 3, you click that button, it'll increase your reserve Helldivers, and you'll have an operation completed. Woo! But we didn't do that, so we're going to create a new unit. Now this is a nice one. We got M-Word M Booty, the Tenacious Runners. We copy the signature stuff, which if you don't know how to copy, Control-C, Control-V, or you can right-click copy. Right-click copy, and since this is dynamite, we put it into throwable. We paste. Just in case you didn't know how to copy and paste. Guess it might be different on a MacBook. I don't know. Who even plays Helldivers on a MacBook? And then we would choose loadout equipment. But that's basically it. That's pretty much all you need to know to start using this system. So if you want to go use it, the link is in the description. This will be blank when you click on the link. And what you need to do is click up here and make a copy. You click that, you'll have your own personal copy to do whatever you want with. Use the system as I intended, or break the whole system. It's all up to you. Now, if you're still here, I have some more information that might be helpful. We got helpful notes. These aren't any hard rules. They're just things that I like to do. I'm not going to read them. Actually, I'll read them. You may replace any equipment after a mission at your discretion. If you want to replace signature stuff, copy a piece of equipment from your loadout and paste it into the appropriate signature cell. Signature equipment includes anything that is not a stratagem. Signature stratagems only include stratagems. Shocking. You may also replace equipment when you start fighting a different faction. Just don't change your equipment because you don't like what you've chosen. That's kind of cheating. I also recommend increasing the difficulty after every completed operation. It's been spoken, the helpful notes. The only thing I would show you how to do is how to delete the stuff. You click on a cell you don't want anymore, and you delete it. Preferably not the signature stuff, which is what I read. That is part of the thing I read. But you delete the things you don't want, and then you choose loadout equipment. In case you want something a little different. Now, what if you want different signature equipment? What I like to do is use what is currently in my loadout. Say, I don't want a rocket sentry anymore. I'd rather have this orbital strike. All you have to do is copy the cell that says orbital strike, orbital rail cannon strike. Click on this cell, the colored part, and you paste. Maybe I want a stun baton instead of dynamite. You copy it, you click on it, you paste it. That's how. And so if we die 10 times, it just works. It just works. If you do make a mistake in the spreadsheet, say, I don't know, you accidentally create a new unit. Oh no, I locked that unit. Control Z until you get back to how it was. Which I don't know how much further that would be. But until it looks normal. Usually I don't click on create a new unit as a mistake. It's usually commencing a death penalty that I didn't mean to do. Such as maybe, I clicked it twice. There's nothing there, so it wouldn't work anyways. It's just locked nothing. Well, that's it. That's it for that other stuff. As far as using this system goes. Now, if you're still here and you want to learn even more, it's time to learn stuff about the spreadsheet itself. When new equipment comes out, say a new mech, or more likely primary weapons and secondary weapons, throwables, armor passives, another defensive stratagem, something. When something comes out, you're going to have to add it to this system. You'll click on equipment and stratagems. You'll see this super pretty sheet. You want to add the new equipment. Let's say there is a new secondary weapon. If you don't care about having it be blue in this spreadsheet, you just got to click on this lower cell. Say there's new gun. If you do want it to be blue, the easiest way is just pull down the one above it and then type. Now you have it blue. We got new gun. If we go back here, we should see new gun is now in secondary weapons. That's all you need to do to add stuff. It should just work. We could test it, but I'll amend this video if it doesn't work. We don't need to test it together, but we do need to show you how to make it blue, because this looks ugly. I don't want new gun looking like that. You right click on it and go down to a few more cell actions. Conditional formatting. There'll be all this stuff depending on the cell. We want it to look blue, so you click on any of the appropriate color. In this case, they're all the appropriate color. Doesn't matter which one, just any of the ones that are the same color as that they're the appropriate color. First, you add another rule. Then, you type in the new equipment name, such as new gun. Boom. It has been done. And now, if you find one that's not doing it right, but is right over here or something, do the same thing as if you were adding new equipment. This shouldn't really happen very often, but if it does, that's all you need to do. Boom. And then you might say, it still doesn't look blue. Looks blue to me. And that's how you fix stuff. Now, if you really want something extra special, here's how you add more stuff to the names. If you don't like the middle names, you can delete these, and that'll get rid of them. Boop. But I like them. I used to have 5 stuff. I never got rid of it. Anyways, how to add new names. It's the same. It's the same process, no matter if it's a squad name, first name, last name. Let's add a last name. You go down to the rand name below part. You highlight everything. You pull it down 1 if you want to add 1 name. Let's add a killer. If it is already a last name, such as Wear Pants, I'm pretty sure I added SpongeBob SquarePants. No, alright, we'll do a different one. There we go. It'll do this. If you already have the name, you'll see it try to autocomplete. If you're adding like a first name into a last name as well, no biggie. But if you were trying to add what you thought was a new last name, and you see it's already there, there's a helpful little tip. We want to add killer. Now, we go to this first cell, which is the only cell that really matters. And we update this number right here. Since we added 1 last name, we just increase it by 1. If you added more than 1, you would increase it by more than 1. And now you can pull this little part down, and they're all 85 now. I think the only one that really is used, the only cell, is A1. I used to use A1 through 5, but no longer. That is everything. I can't think of anything else I would want to tell you right now about this spreadsheet. Link is in the description. Use it, have fun. If you have problems, leave a comment. I'll try to help you as best I can. Yeah. Happy diving. Oh, you can catch me on stream sometimes. I'll use this on stream too. I usually use this whenever I play. So, I guess that will be in the description too. If you want to catch a stream. They don't happen very often, but they do sometimes. Alright.